First we had X, and then we had Pearl, and now we have MaXXXine coming out July 5th. The trailer dropped the other day, and I want to tell you guys 5 things that I hope to see in MaXXXine. What's up everybody, Nick here from the Lost River Drive-In, and today we're going to talk about MaXXXine, and really just based off of the trailer and things that I could infer, I'm going to give you guys 5 things that I want to see from MaXXXine, or I want to get from MaXXXine. Now, if you guys know anything about me, you know X was my favorite horror film of 2022. Hands down, not even close. And the only movie that's even rivaled that recently is The First Omen, but I would still take X over that movie. It's probably my favorite horror movie of the last 5 years, at least. I adore that movie. Pearl, I loved Pearl as well. Very, very different experience watching that film, and I think anybody that's seen both can agree. But I love the movie as well. Ty West as a filmmaker, I love. The dude is undefeated. So I've seen every one of his movies. I at least like all of them, but love most of them. So the guy's batting 1,000. So I have no reason to doubt that MaXXXine is going to be incredible. And after watching the trailer, I can probably infer that, yeah, it's going to be pretty awesome. But there were things shown in this trailer that really caught my eye. There was a lot of questions I had, and there's a lot of things that I started to infer. So what are 5 things that I want from MaXXXine? Well, first and foremost, we got to talk about the tone, the style. Now, X is a very grindhouse, throwback 70s Texas Chainsaw Massacre style horror movie. That's the aesthetic. That is the tone that he went for with that movie, and it works perfectly. Pearl is much more a period piece. It's a slow burn character study. It is more emotional horror and psychological and less about the viscera. I need MaXXXine to differentiate itself between the two. Now you might hear that and go, well, you loved both of the previous movies, so why would you want it to be different? Well, again, both of those movies are tonally very different. So I am hoping that this third film can be something like that. I want all 3 of them to stand out in their own ways. MaXXXine, I'm hoping, is a glamorous 80s slasher movie. And what I mean by that is drugs, rock and roll, sex, over-the-top gore, just insanity. What you remember seeing from the peak of the slasher era, that's what I want MaXXXine to be. But even if it's not that, I want it to be tonally different from the previous 2. I want it to stand on its own. So when you look at this trilogy, when it's all said and done, as incredible as it's going to be, they're all very different experiences. Number 2, I want it to be in universe with Psycho. We got that tease in the trailer. I know, y'all saw it, I saw it, my jaw dropped. That shit floored me. What do I mean by in universe? Because by the trailer, you don't really know. Is it a set, since she's in Hollywood? Is it just they're filming one of the Psycho sequels? Or is this the real Bates Motel? Norman Bates actually lived in that house and killed his mother and others. Which route are we going to go? I want it to be in universe. And I think that goes to my first point as well with this glammy, glitzy, over-the-top 80s slasher movie. This would work perfectly with that tone if it's in universe with Psycho. It's just so insane. It's a horror fan's wet dream. I mean, let's not kid ourselves here. And I think that would just work perfectly for where this series seems to be going. Now, I could totally see them explaining it away. Oh, they were filming Psycho 3 or Psycho 4 and it was just a set and she's in Hollywood and blah, blah, blah. And they might do that. That might be what it is. I hope it's not. I hope that this is in universe and so we can forever go, wow, Maxine Minx lived in the same universe as Norman Bates. That's pretty cool. Number 3, I want MaXXXine to succeed. Not the movie, although I do. The character of Maxine Minx. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, she went to Hollywood to become a star. And of course, she did some heinous things on her way there and is probably doing some more after she got there. But I don't care. The idea is we have rallied behind this character. We have seen her overcome. I would love to see her not only continue to overcome, but reach the pinnacle of what she wants, whether that's becoming an actress, rich, famous, having everything she could want. I don't really know what exactly that is, but I'm sure Ty West is going to figure it out on screen and on the page. I want to see it play out that way. I don't want to see her get taken out. I don't want to see her fail. We already saw that failure with Pearl and where it led her. And maybe it's a tragic story that MaXXXine's going to be the same way. Maybe it's Pearl was mirroring what MaXXXine is going to end up being. Probably, actually. That's probably the most likely scenario here. I don't care, okay? What I want is to see my girl MaXXXine succeed. Number 4, I do not want Kevin Bacon to be a cameo. Now, I'm sure he's not going to be a cameo whereas he only has one scene, but I actually want him to play a sizable role in this movie. Kevin Bacon is awesome. He's one of those actors that, like, everybody knows Kevin Bacon, but he's never really been, at least in recent years, somebody where you're like, oh my God, Kevin Bacon. Us horror fans are, but normies, not so much, not anymore. Well, I hate that because I love Kevin Bacon and I especially love his work in horror movies. So I want to see him really get something to do of note in this movie. I want him to have some weight to this story. I really want him to add to it. Now, I can't imagine you're going to cast Kevin Bacon, especially in such like what looks like a suave, serious role, and not give him something cool to do. Especially with Ty West, I have no doubt, but I'm just saying, I need to see it. I want to see it. Give it to me. And the final thing I want to see out of MaXXXine is no end. And what do I mean by that? I don't want to see an end in sight. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean for MaXXXine Minx, but we have all pigeonholed ourselves as horror fans and just fans in general of movies to thinking, oh, there's got to be a trilogy, and if you start another one, there's got to be another trilogy. We always think in terms of that. It's like it's either a one-off or it's a trilogy, and there's nothing in between. You can't just make 4 movies or 5 movies or 2 movies. I don't subscribe to that. Look, this has been a very successful series so far for A24, and I have all the belief in the world that MaXXXine is going to be the most successful of the 3. It's probably going to do the most at the box office. It's got prime real estate when it comes out, and it's marketing to, I don't know, slasher fans. That's just kind of perfect. I don't see how this could not be a big hit. So I don't think we need to say that this is the end. I know Ty West talked about it being a trilogy, and so did A24, but Ty West also said a couple months back that he could see future ideas in this universe. So what I mean by not having an end in sight, maybe an end for the character of MaXXXine Minx, but continuing this X universe. I'd love to see it maybe spin off, or maybe she comes back for another trilogy. That leads us all the way up to modern day where she is an old lady like Pearl was, and she's killing young people. I don't really know, but when you have a good thing working, it's making money, it's getting good reviews, and it's making horror fans writ large happy, why stop? Especially nowadays when we get so much just overproduced studio gobbledygook bullshit horror movies. I want to see more like these with filmmakers and writers that have passion and have great ideas and actors that deliver powerhouse performances and universes that you just want to live in. So if this is going to be as good as I think it's going to be, why stop here? Yes, am I a little overzealous? Maybe. Do I care? Hell no. So those are 5 things I want to see or take away from MaXXXine. But I want to hear down below, guys, what do you want to see from MaXXXine? What are 5 things you hope to see, you hope to learn, or I don't know, you're scared of? Whatever it might be, tell me down below in the comments section. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. This is Nick at the Lost River Drive-In, and I'm pulling out.